I created an AI-assisted app in 10 minutes. But it sucked.
It all started with a 5-day immersive AI course with Kaggle processes, which covered Day 1, Foundational Models and Prompt Engineering. Day 2, Embeddings and Vector Stores/Databases. Day 3, Generative AI Agents. And on Day 4, Domain-Specific LLMs. On the 5th day, we did a course overview and discussed the capstone project.
The capstone will be the focus of this video. Check out my blog by the same name for a detailed breakdown of the complete course. My capstone project was an ingredient substitution model. My first attempt took about 10 minutes. From Googling common ingredients and their substitutions, to prompting ChatGPT for cleaning and formatting my data in Google Sheets, and I'm using the word cleaning very loosely, to prompting Gemini for the code to put in my model. From there, in a Colab notebook, I used Chroma for a vector store and Gradio for a user interface. I was able to get my data rehashed to me. In other words, the response simply gave a paraphrased description of what my Google Sheet said, in list format. For 10 minutes, that's not bad, but my goal wasn't just to have a system that rehashed my data. I wanted more of a natural language response, like many of the top LLMs. Again, I encourage you all to check out the blog post that goes in depth about our exposure to some relatively simple ways to incorporate machine learning.
The main improvement for the project needed to take place in the data. I needed more structured data to feed my model, so it could come up with a more insightful response. I started by splitting the dataset into 2 parts, one for the original ingredients and another for the substitutions. I added more columns for things like flavor profile and texture. Cleaning the data was the most difficult part of the project. The data came in a few forms: clean formatted tables, paragraphs, and not so clean tables. I prompted Gemini first, but I found it was better at coding, but not great with structuring data. I then prompted ChatGPT, and it gave me the results I needed. Now let's shift gears and look at the final iteration of my capstone project, incorporating all I had learned. For the final modal, I added complexity to my previous model and better structured the data. This resulted in a better suggestion model. With minimal additional effort, I could have better structured the substitute with section, as well as other output. Ultimately, it only took me about 30 minutes to complete. I could imagine taking a couple of hours and turning this into a legitimate app. Subscribe to see how I build on these skills to complete my next leg of this AI journey.
By the way, when we're not creating content, we create real solutions for small business looking to use AI. Check the link in the description for more details.